Have you noticed something strange happening in your body lately? Not illness, not fatigue in the usual sense, but waves, pulses, flashes of heat that seem to come out of nowhere, tingling that dances across your skin like electricity, maybe pressure in your forehead, maybe your ears ring even though the room is silent. And the doctors? They say everything looks fine. But you know it's not just in your head, you feel it, deep in your bones. And you've started to wonder if these signs, these strange, unpredictable, sometimes even uncomfortable sensations, might actually mean something more. They do. What you're experiencing right now is not a breakdown, it's not anxiety, and no, it's not just aging. You are in the final stage of your spiritual awakening. Your body is not malfunctioning, it's transforming. It's catching up to the truths your soul already knows. You see, when the soul awakens, the mind doesn't awaken first. The body does. Long before you have words for what's happening, your cells begin to shift. Your nervous system starts to purge old trauma. Your DNA begins to reorganize, aligning with higher frequencies. And the deeper your awakening, the louder the body speaks. It starts subtly. An odd ache here, a shiver that feels like something brushing against you. Then it builds. Sudden surges of heat in your hands, your chest, or your crown, vibrations in your limbs, dreams that feel more real than waking life, exhaustion that pulls you down, not because you're tired, but because you're integrating more than your conscious mind can process. You're not broken, you're being rebuilt from the inside out. When you enter the final stage of awakening, your body becomes the mouthpiece of your soul. It begins to talk in a language beyond logic. That sudden heart racing when you walk into a room, it's your energy field detecting a frequency misalignment. That stiffness in your shoulders, a backlog of emotion that's finally ready to be released. You're processing spiritual truth at a cellular level. Your body is literally digesting the illusions you've lived with your whole life. And if that sounds intense, it's because it is. Final stage awakening is not subtle, it's not soft, it's not polite. It's messy, it's raw, it's often misunderstood even by those closest to you. But here's the sacred truth no one talks about. The body wakes up before the mind is ready. Your soul is pulling you forward. And your body? It's the vessel making that leap possible. Every tingling sensation, every burst of unexplained emotion, every ache or pain that moves without pattern or reason, it's all intelligence. Your higher self is communicating through flesh, through nerves, through blood, because the body doesn't lie, and in this stage it becomes the most accurate spiritual compass you have. You've probably already noticed how sensitive you've become. Loud spaces feel overwhelming. People's emotions leak into your own. You walk into a room and feel everything shift. This isn't weakness. This isn't fragility. This is energetic intelligence. You are absorbing, transmuting, and releasing energies that others can't even perceive. You're not just waking up. You're acting as a filter for the collective. That's why it feels so heavy sometimes. That's why it feels lonely. But you're not alone. Many are feeling these signs right now. Not everyone talks about it, because not everyone understands it. But there is a growing number of you who were called to awaken at this exact time, and your body is the evidence. It's the map. It's showing you, through sensation, where the healing still lives, and where the light is trying to break through. This is what it means to be a chosen one. Not someone above others, not someone better, but someone designed to feel more, to hold more, and to rise faster. Because your mission here is greater than just surviving. You were built to transmute darkness, to turn pain into purpose, and that requires a body that can hold divine voltage. So if your joints ache without cause, if your head throbs during full moons, if your sleep is broken by vivid visions or the sensation of floating, don't dismiss it. This is not random. This is spiritual evolution made physical. Right now, your cells are releasing old timelines, your spine is unwinding ancestral grief, your breath is recalibrating to universal rhythm, and your blood is remembering its cosmic origin. It can feel like chaos, But this is sacred chaos. This is the divine disorder that precedes rebirth. If you feel pressure at your third eye, it's because your inner sight is opening. If your heart feels squeezed, it's because old grief is lifting out. If your hands tingle, your healing abilities are activating. These signs are not symptoms of sickness. They are signals of your sacred metamorphosis. You've outgrown the old version of yourself, and your body is shedding it, layer by layer. Let the tears come. Let the shakes move through. Let your breath guide you. Because this isn't a setback. This is a ceremony. You are not dying. You are becoming. You are ascending. And the body, your body, was never just a vessel. It's a portal, a temple, a translator for divine intelligence. That's why it had to speak in ways your mind couldn't understand. That's why you had to feel the truth before you could know it. The aches, the heat, the waves of emotion. They weren't punishments, they were invitations. Invitations to go deeper, to listen more closely, to surrender what's false and make room for what's real. You didn't come here to live comfortably in illusion. You came here to awaken completely. And that means your entire being, mind, spirit, and body must align. And now, your body is catching up to the light you already are. You've probably noticed it by now, the shift. The world doesn't feel quite the same anymore. Your body doesn't respond to things the way it used to. Foods that once comforted you now make you feel heavy. Loud conversations drain you faster than they ever did. Your skin feels electric at times. And sometimes, your heart races for no reason at all. But there is a reason. The reason is this. Your energy field is no longer compatible with lower vibrations, and your body, your loyal, ever-intelligent body, is alerting you in real time. Every time something no longer aligns with the new frequency you've anchored into, your body lets you know. Some people call this hypersensitivity. But what it really is spiritual precision. You are being fine-tuned like an instrument, and only what resonates with your new spiritual note can stay. That's why you feel so much, because feeling is your new compass. You may have started to notice how quickly your emotions change now. One moment you're calm, the next you're overcome with waves of grief or joy that don't even seem to have a trigger. That's not imbalance. That's embodiment. You're not suppressing anymore. You're not pushing things down. You're allowing. You're transmuting. You are letting centuries of silent energy pass through you like breath. And your body is becoming the sacred alchemist of your soul. There's a beautiful, almost mystical truth you might not have heard before. Your body processes truth before your mind can recognize it. It senses what's real before your thoughts can name it. That flutter in your gut when someone lies to you, the chills down your spine when you hear a spiritual truth, the tension in your chest before something ends, all of it, pure spiritual intelligence. Your body is like a tuning fork. It resonates when you're near alignment, and it resists when you're moving away from it. So if you've been doubting yourself lately, thinking maybe you're overreacting, being too sensitive, imagining things, please hear this. You're not. You're just tuned into a higher frequency now, and the world you once accepted is no longer a match for your soul. You've entered the phase where your physicality becomes prophetic. Your body is showing you things before they even happen. You get exhausted right before an energetic shift. You feel aches when someone close to you is emotionally heavy. You hear ringing in your ears moments before you receive an insight. This is what happens when you are living as a spiritual being first and a physical being second. You are no longer reacting to the world. You are reading it. You've probably also felt this rising need to be alone, to rest more, to avoid people who drain you. It's not antisocial behavior, it's energetic protection. Your body knows that this part of your journey is sacred, that it requires silence, stillness, and space, because integration isn't loud, it's quiet. And your body, wise and ancient, knows how to carry out this spiritual surgery without your mind getting in the way. That sudden fatigue that hits you out of nowhere, it's your energy body downloading new codes. That desire to cry in the middle of the day, your heart chakra opening, cleansing old pain that was ready to leave. That random pressure at your temples, your third eye syncing with your higher vision. It's all connected. Every symptom is a message. Every ache is an echo of something leaving you, and every surge of energy you feel, that's your light body expanding. You might feel a swirling sensation in your stomach. That's your solar plexus clearing out outdated programming, old identities, false narratives, energetic contracts that are no longer valid. Or maybe you've noticed that sometimes your skin feels like it's buzzing. That's your aura growing wider, more powerful. You're beginning to take up spiritual space. And the physical sensations are simply your system adjusting to your new size. You're not imagining this. You're evolving. Even your heart, it's not just an organ anymore, it's a transmitter, a radiant generator of vibrational truth. When you feel things deeply now, it's because your heart is guiding you like a compass toward what's real. You've probably cried more in the past few months than you have in years. That's not emotional weakness. It's soul-level detox. Grief is no longer something you carry, it's something you release. Anger is no longer something you suppress, it's something you transmute. Fear is no longer something that owns you, it's something that passes through like a passing cloud. This is what the final stage looks like. You're not escaping your humanity, you're bringing divinity into it. And sometimes that hurts. Sometimes it stretches, sometimes it burns. But through it all, your body is not your enemy, it is your most devoted guide. You may feel like a stranger in your own skin at times, but that's because the old you has moved out, and the new you hasn't fully moved in. You are in between worlds. No longer asleep, but not yet fully embodied in your awakened self. This is sacred territory. This is the cocoon stage, and though it may feel like nothing's happening on the outside, inside your entire being is reorganizing. Your cells are releasing fear, your organs are adjusting to higher frequencies, your nervous system is learning how to hold more light, and your breath is starting to carry the rhythm of the cosmos. So if you feel strange, good, that's how you know it's working. You are not who you used to be. And the symptoms you're feeling are not obstacles, they're confirmations. Confirmations that you've answered the call. Confirmations that you've outgrown the old earth. Confirmations that you are ready for your next evolution. The truth is, you were never just meant to survive here. You were meant to transfigure. And now, that moment has arrived. You may have felt it since you were a child, that sense of being different. Not better, not superior, just different. Like you saw things others didn't, felt emotions more deeply than made sense, picked up on energies no one around you seemed to notice. Maybe you've been called too sensitive, too intense, too dramatic, but the truth is, you weren't too much. You were tuned in. You came into this world with a specific frequency, and that frequency has always been ahead of its time. You didn't ask for it, you didn't manufacture it, it was encoded in you. And now, as you awaken to the final stage of your spiritual path, that frequency is fully activating. The body aches, the sudden exhaustion, the emotional waves. They're not glitches, they're evidence that your original design is coming online. You are what some call a chosen one. Not chosen instead of others, chosen for something, for higher purpose, for transmutation, for remembrance. You chose, on some level beyond memory, to awaken sooner, to feel more, and to heal deeper than most people around you ever will. And that's why your path has been so intense. That's why your body has carried so much. It had to, because part of your mission isn't just to wake up, it's to clear the way for others. This is the blueprint of the spiritually marked, the empaths, the sensitives, the old souls disguised in human form. And your body, it's been carrying this blueprint since before you even knew what awakening meant. You weren't born broken, you were born porous, permeable to truth. And yes, that makes you vulnerable, but it also makes you powerful. You absorb the collective pain, not because you're weak, but because you're capable of alchemizing it. And right now, your body is doing exactly that. You're clearing generations of silence, releasing timelines that never belonged to you. And every muscle, every cell, every nerve is participating in that sacred work. You're not the only one who's ever walked this path. Every great spiritual leader, every mystic, every healer, every prophet went through this same physical metamorphosis. The Buddha spoke of his body shaking under the Bodhi tree as he faced illusion. Teresa of Avila described her mystical ecstasies as both blissful and painful, like her body couldn't hold the light she was receiving. Even Jesus fasted, wandered and sweated blood before stepping fully into his divine role. Why? 'Cause to carry light, your body must first be emptied of everything that blocks it. And that process is rarely comfortable. Your nervous system wasn't malfunctioning, it was recalibrating. Your joints weren't aching randomly, they were releasing stored trauma. Your skin didn't crawl for no reason. It was sensing subtle frequencies your mind hadn't yet caught up to. This is what it means to be chosen. Not to be special in the egoic sense, but to be responsible, to be trusted with sacred work. And that sacred work always begins within. Your body had to feel it before your mind could understand it, because the mind is slow, it analyzes, it questions, it hesitates. But the body, when aligned, is instantaneous. It knows, it reacts, it responds to truth like a tuning fork to vibration. And truth is what's been moving through you this whole time. That's why it's so intense now. You're not just remembering who you are, you're becoming it. In real time, with every breath, every pulse, every shiver, you're integrating lifetimes of wisdom into one human form. And the reason it feels so wild is because the frequency you're carrying was never meant to fit into the old paradigm. You are the shift. You are the upgrade. You are the embodied evolution. And no, not everyone around you will understand. Many will doubt what you feel. Some will dismiss it. Others may even fear it. But that doesn't change what's happening inside of you. In fact, your sensitivity is proof. You feel before others do. You react before logic kicks in. You sense energy before it takes form. And yes, that can be overwhelming, but it's also the signature of someone whose role is larger than survival. You weren't built to just live. You were built to awaken others by example. And the first example you must set is to trust your body when it speaks, to honor the heaviness, to rest when it says rest, to cry when it says cry, to shake when energy needs release, because your body is no longer functioning on the same rules as before. It's not just a vehicle now, it's an oracle. It's showing you the truth even when the world is still asleep. That's why it hurts sometimes, because waking up hurts. It strips, it dissolves, it purges everything that was false, and your body feels every inch of that. But the pain is temporary. The expansion is eternal. What you're experiencing now is the culmination of every moment your soul has prepared for. You are not failing. You are fulfilling your role as a portal between worlds, as a being who walks both in the physical and the spiritual, as someone who can hold the ache of humanity and still carry the frequency of the divine. That's what it means to be chosen, not for praise, not for ego, but for sacred transformation. And the transformation begins in the body, because the body is the last place the truth arrives. It's the final frontier, the place where the invisible becomes visible. So yes, your body is showing signs, strange ones, intense ones, but that's because you're not in the beginning anymore. You're in the final stage, and the body always speaks loudest right before the breakthrough. There's something miraculous happening inside you right now, something sacred and rarely spoken about. Your body is awakening faster than your mind. That may sound backward. You've been taught that awakening starts with insight, with an epiphany or realization, but the final phase doesn't begin in the mind, it begins in the body. Because the body doesn't need convincing. It doesn't need permissions, like simply knows. Your body feels the truth before you think it. It's already listening to the frequency of your higher self. It's already syncing with a vibration that your thoughts haven't caught up to yet. That's why you've felt off. That's why the sensations seem random, because the mind is still trying to analyze what the body has already accepted as real. You're not going crazy. You're just remembering through sensation. Imagine a tuning fork. When it's struck, it rings with a pure tone. Now imagine another tuning fork placed nearby. It begins to vibrate too, without being touched, because it resonates with the same frequency. That's what's happening in your body. Divine truth has struck a note deep in your soul, and your physical body is vibrating in response. You didn't choose this consciously, it chose you, or maybe you chose it long before this lifetime even began, and now, here you are, the tuning fork has rung, the resonance has begun, and your body, your incredible, miraculous, often underestimated body is ringing in sacred harmony. That's what the symptoms are. They're not random, they're resonance. Your cells are harmonizing with higher truths. Your tissues are releasing frequencies they no longer align with. Your bones are remembering a different structure, one not based on fear but on light. And that resonance is prophecy. You see, your body doesn't just hold your past. It holds your potential. It carries memories of what has been, yes, but it also reacts to what is coming. That tightness in your chest, it's preparing you to speak a truth you've never voiced before. That flutter in your gut, it's warning you about a situation your mind still believes is safe. That tingling in your scalp, it's signaling a download, an insight, a vision, a calling, about to enter your awareness. Your body is ahead of the timeline. And your symptoms, they're sacred prophecies in motion. You've been taught to ignore your body's signs, to override them, to numb them. But your body is more than tissue and blood. It is an antenna. It receives data from timelines your mind cannot access. And in this stage of awakening, it's no longer asking for your attention. It's demanding it. Because what you feel is what is real. Before your thoughts can process, your nervous system has already responded. Before your brain can explain, your skin has already tingled. Before your intellect can rationalize, your body has already taken a stand. Through shivers, through pressure, through inexplicable exhaustion or bursts of energy. This isn't weakness. This is spiritual maturity. To feel the invisible, to respond to the intangible, to honor a language older than words. And yet, there's another reason this phase is so intense. It's because for most of your life, you lived primarily in the mind. You survived through logic, through thought, through planning and rational explanation. But now, you're being asked to surrender all of that, to step into a new alignment, one where the body, the mind, and the spirit move as one. This is full spectrum embodiment. And it doesn't happen by chance. It happens through surrender. You can't think your way through this phase. You can't research your way into relief. You must listen. You must feel. You must learn to treat every ache, every flutter, every wave as a message. Not a problem to be solved, but a prophecy to be honored. That pounding heart you feel when someone speaks, it may not be fear. It might be recognition. That heat in your hands, it might not be anxiety. It might be your healing gift activating. That pressure in your chest, it's not always stress. It might be your heart expanding to hold more light. You are becoming the instrument, and the divine is playing through you. This alignment isn't just about balance. It's about orchestration. Your mind doesn't lead anymore. It follows. The body listens to the soul. The mind listens to the body. And together they form a sacred trinity. When your body tingles, your soul is whispering. When your back aches, your energy is shifting. When your appetite changes, your frequency is recalibrating. These are not symptoms. These are signals, and each one carries a message from a deeper realm. Can you hear it? That hum beneath your skin? that echo in your bones, that whisper behind your eyes. It's all the same song, the same vibration, the same sacred resonance tuning you into your highest self. You're not just waking up, you're being recomposed. And though the world around you may not understand, your body does. It always has. And now that you're in this final stage, it's no longer content to whisper. It speaks through sensation, through movement, through stillness, through heat and calm, because this awakening isn't theoretical, it's embodied. And every day, your body aligns a little more, every cell, every nerve, every breath, all harmonizing with a future your spirit already sees. You don't need to be afraid of what you're feeling. You need to listen, because your body is no longer reacting to the past. It's responding to the light of who you're becoming, and that light is getting brighter. There's something else you need to understand, something that might finally explain why you've been feeling everything so intensely. You're not just sensitive, you're absorbing energy, and not only is that normal for someone at your stage, it's by design. You're a transmuter, a sacred alchemist in human form. You don't just feel energy, you process it, you take it in, break it down, cleanse it and release it in a higher frequency. That's why being around certain people exhausts you. That's why crowded places feel suffocating. That's why you sometimes wake up more tired than when you went to sleep. Because on a level most can't see, you're doing spiritual labor. You're filtering the frequency of the spaces you enter. It's not just empathy, it's energetic transmutation. And your body is the vessel for it. Every ache, every wave of heat, every sudden drop in energy is your system alerting you, I'm working, I'm clearing, I'm lifting something that didn't originate from me. That's why your symptoms aren't random. They are part of a sacred assignment. You came here to absorb what the world could not hold and release it back as light. But here's the part no one tells you. There's a cost, because while this gift is powerful, it's also heavy. There's a burden to carrying pain that isn't yours, to grieving for others, to feeling sorrow in your body that has no narrative. And yet, this is what happens when you reach the level you're at. You become a tuning system not just for yourself, but for the collective. And that's why your body must become your partner, not your enemy. It's not breaking down, it's slowing you down. Because if you don't rest, you can't release. If you don't feel, you can't transmute. If you don't listen, you absorb what was never meant to stay. The headaches, the joint pain, the heavy limbs, these are not punishments, they're protection. Your body is whispering, please pause, let me process this. It's telling you, we just absorbed something massive, I need a moment to clear it. And in that moment, when you choose rest, when you choose solitude, when you choose silence, you allow your body to do what it's designed to do. Elevate energy. You weren't meant to fight this, you were meant to honor it. Because the truth is, the more awakened you become, the more open you are to frequency. The more aligned you are with light, the more darkness seeks you, not to destroy you, but to be transformed through you. This is the divine paradox. You feel more not because you're weak, but because you're strong enough to heal what others deny. And your body knows how to do it if you give it permission. That chronic fatigue you feel, it's your body saying we're over capacity, it's time to let go. That nausea when you're near someone, it's your body whispering their pain is leaking, we need to shield. That sudden shiver in a conversation, your intuition alive in your skin saying this truth is deeper than words. You are absorbing signals constantly, and sometimes those signals take form as symptoms, not to harm you, but to guide you. Because the body is wise. It doesn't care about social etiquette. It doesn't care about pretending. It cares about truth, and when the truth enters your field, the body reacts. This is how your spiritual system works. It's not clean, it's not clinical, it's messy, emotional, raw, and real. You are not fragile. You are not unstable, you are finely tuned. You are the kind of person who feels the shift in a room before a word is spoken, who senses when someone's smiling but secretly hurting, who cries without reason because the collective grief is moving through you like a wave, and all of that is holy. You are the empath the ancient texts spoke of, the one who heals without even trying, the one who transforms by being, not by doing more, but by holding space, by feeling it all and still choosing to love. That's not weakness. That's mastery. But every master must rest, because even the strongest vessel has limits. Your body will tell you it always has. The tightness in your neck, the pit in your stomach, the sudden aversion to noise. These are not mood swings. These are messages. Your body is saying, too much. Time to recalibrate. Time to come home to yourself. And when you do, when you slow down, breathe deeply, return to your own energy, you clear, you transmute, you heal, not just yourself but the field around you. You walk into a room and shift its vibration. You listen to someone's pain and lighten their burden without saying a word. You rest, and somehow the world softens. This is who you are, and this is why your body feels so much. It's not betraying you, it's leading you. It's teaching you when to engage and when to retreat, when to hold space and when to empty, when to speak and when to sit in silence. You're not supposed to feel okay all the time. You're supposed to feel truth. And truth is not always comfortable, but it is always sacred. And your body, sensitive, aware, holy, was built to hold it. So the next time you feel a strange sensation, a sudden fatigue, a tightness, or a surge, pause, ask yourself, what am I absorbing? What am I being asked to release? Because your body never speaks without purpose. And in this final phase of awakening, its messages are louder than ever, not because you're broken, but because you're becoming whole. Let's reframe what you've been taught about pain. What if every ache, every discomfort, every unexplainable symptom was not a problem to fix, but a message to interpret? What if your pain wasn't working against you, but for you? Because here's the deeper truth most never realize. Every symptom is an answer to a prayer you forgot you made. You asked to evolve, you asked to awaken, you asked to be free, and your soul responded not with words, but with frequency. It started moving energy, releasing illusions, collapsing timelines. And your body, faithful and intuitive, began translating that into form, into feeling, into sensation. You're not just experiencing discomfort. You're experiencing reconfiguration. You're being rebuilt on every level, spirit, mind, and matter. And the pain? That's the signal that old systems are breaking down, that outdated beliefs are leaving, that wounds are finally surfacing to be healed. Your body isn't broken. It's communicating. And the more spiritually intelligent you become, the more you'll realize these sensations aren't random, they're intuitive revelations. That sore throat you woke up with, it might be your truth trying to rise. That heaviness in your chest, grief you didn't know was still there, ready to be released. That tightness in your solar plexus, your boundaries tightening, your power centering. Nothing is meaningless. The body speaks in vibration, not language. And your job isn't to silence it, it's to listen. You might not remember the exact moment you asked for transformation, but your body does. And now, it's delivering the answer. In the form of fatigue that says, you've done enough. Rest. In the form of emotional purges that say, it's safe now. Feel it. In the form of chronic tension that says, this isn't aligned. Let it go. This is what it means to move from pain to power, to see beyond the surface and recognize the intelligence within the discomfort. And when you start listening to your body with reverence instead of resistance, something shifts. You begin to reprogram, not just your mind, but your field, your energy, your entire experience of reality. That's where true power begins. It's not about suppressing symptoms, it's about interpreting them, and then choosing a new vibration, consciously. This is where affirmation becomes alchemy. Bob Proctor understood this. He taught that your thoughts are seeds and your words are commands to the subconscious mind. But at your level of awakening, affirmation is more than just mental, it's energetic. You're not just speaking truths, you're broadcasting them through every cell. So when you say, "I am healing," your body hears it. When you declare, "I am aligned," your energy field rearranges. When you affirm, "I am safe to feel," your nervous system relaxes. Start there. Speak light into your cells. Declare your divine truth until your body remembers what the mind forgot. Say this out loud, and feel every word resonate through you. I am not my pain. I am the power that transforms it. I am safe in my sensitivity. Every sensation I feel is a message of light. I honor my body's wisdom. I trust the process unfolding through me. I release resistance and welcome resonance. I am the frequency of healing. Speak these words, not to escape your symptoms, but to guide them. Because words carry vibration, and when that vibration is clear, focused, and intentional, your body follows. That's how you begin to listen to your light. Your light is always speaking through intuition, through impulse, through the gentle nudges and loud discomforts. And every time you ignore it, your body speaks louder, not to punish, but to redirect. Light never abandons you. It just waits for you to slow down enough to hear it. And once you do, once you begin choosing stillness over stimulation, breath over busyness, alignment over approval, you create space for your light to speak clearly. You'll notice it in your body first. A lightness in your chest when you say yes to the right thing. A drop in your gut when you're about to repeat an old pattern. Goosebumps when truth is near. Tears that come not from sadness, but recognition. This is how your light communicates. Not through logic, through resonance. You don't need to make sense of it all right away. You just need to listen, to create a relationship with your own light, to ask your body questions and trust the answers that rise. Ask, what are you trying to show me? What do you need from me today? What am I holding that's no longer mine? And then breathe, feel, receive. You don't have to force healing. You just have to stop fighting what's already unfolding. Because when you stop resisting, your power rises. When you stop labeling your symptoms as problems, you begin to see them as prophecy. And when you honor the pain as a messenger, not a mistake, you align with the wisdom that's been trying to reach you all along. So if your body is speaking loudly right now, if the signs are everywhere, don't fear them. You're not falling apart, you're falling into power. What if I told you that what you're feeling right now isn't just yours? That the tightness in your chest, the fatigue in your bones, the strange sensations in your body aren't just personal symptoms but ancestral data moving through you. You're not just healing for yourself, you're healing for those who came before you. And that healing is written in your DNA. You see, your DNA isn't just a biological blueprint. It's a spiritual archive, a living scroll of every thought, trauma, pattern, and potential your lineage has ever carried. And now, in this final stage of awakening, that archive is opening. You're not just unlocking your future, you're releasing your past. Deepak Chopra once said that our genes are not fixed, that what you believe, feel, and experience literally changes how your DNA expresses itself. Louise Hay took it even further, teaching that every ailment is the physical echo of a long-held emotional or energetic belief. So if you've been feeling strange lately, it may not be that you're malfunctioning, it may be that you're finally upgrading. What you're sensing in your body is a shift in expression, a reactivation of dormant strands, a realignment with ancient codes that were waiting across time, across generations, for this exact moment to be awakened. You are the one your lineage has been waiting for. You are the breaker of patterns, the healer of trauma, the one who said, "It ends with me." And because of that, your body has become the site of sacred release. That tight jaw, centuries of silence being unclenched, that pain in your lower back, generations of survival stress finally lifting, that ringing in your ears, that heat in your spine, that tension in your gut, these aren't just personal signals. They're ancestral messages saying, "Thank you, we can finally let go now." Your body is doing more than holding you right now. It's holding centuries of unspoken grief, repressed emotion, abandoned dreams. And now, through you, that weight is finally being lifted into light. Because your DNA is not fixed, it's fluid. And within that fluidity lives encoded intelligence, ancient spiritual codes, gifts, powers, memories that have been dormant, sleeping quietly beneath layers of inherited trauma. But now, they're waking up. That sensation you feel in your spine, it's not just tension, it's Kundalini memory. That sudden pull towards sacred symbols, old languages, ancient rituals, that's ancestral alignment. That recurring vision or dream that feels like a place you've never seen but deeply know. That's genetic memory rising to the surface. You're remembering through the body what the mind forgot. And it's happening at the level of the cell. Because every symptom you feel now isn't just a release, it's also an activation. For every vibration that leaves your system, something higher enters, a new frequency, a forgotten gift, a deeper truth. You are literally being rewritten, not in some abstract, mystical way, but biologically, spiritually, energetically. This is quantum healing, and your body is the sacred site where it happens. That's why it feels so intense, so chaotic, so unpredictable, because you're not just clearing emotional debris. You're excavating buried timelines. You're dissolving energetic contracts. You're breaking spiritual cycles that go back centuries. You are a sacred disruptor. And the disruption begins in your cells. But don't worry. Your body knows exactly what it's doing. It knows how to release what's not yours. It knows how to activate what is. It knows how to guide you through this awakening, one sacred sensation at a time. So when your legs ache for no reason, when your eyes water in stillness, when your palms heat up without touching anything, don't dismiss it. Don't numb it. Witness it. Because that's your body unzipping the past. That's your blood remembering its light. That's your DNA saying, "We're ready now." You may not have language for what's happening yet. That's okay. The body always knows before the mind does. But what you can do is trust the process. Honor the intelligence. Create space for it. And most importantly, give yourself grace. This isn't just spiritual. It's sacred labor. You're doing the work your ancestors couldn't do. You're feeling the feelings they buried. You're healing wounds they carried without words. And in doing so, you're unlocking the parts of yourself that were never truly lost, only waiting to be found. You are not just evolving, you are remembering. And your body, magnificent, miraculous, multi-dimensional, is the bridge between all that was and all that's becoming. So the next time you feel the sudden rush of emotion, the aching spine, the waves of energy, bow to your body, thank your lineage, and remember, this is the final stage. You're not just shedding, you're activating. There's a moment, just before everything settles into clarity, when the signs become undeniable. Not subtle, not hidden, but embodied, lived, felt through every layer of who you are. You may not be able to fully explain what's happening, but you know. Deeply, instinctively. Because the shifts aren't just emotional anymore, they're energetic, tangible, confirmations that you are no longer who you were, that the final stage of awakening is not something you're waiting for, it's something you're living through. These are the energetic shifts that prove you're close to completion. The first shift? Emotional triggers no longer hijack your nervous system. Where you used to spiral, you now breathe. Where you once reacted, you now witness. You may still feel the sting of a sharp word or an old memory, but it no longer owns you. The emotions rise, yes, but they pass like waves across still water. Your system is no longer ruled by fight or flight. It's regulated by presence. This is more than emotional maturity, it's energetic sovereignty. Your body is no longer contracting in fear. It's expanding in awareness. And in that expansion, your soul starts leading the conversation. Not your wounds, not your trauma, but the you that existed before any of it. You don't get stuck in stories anymore, you move through them. And that movement, that flow, is a sacred indicator that you're integrating everything you came here to learn. The second shift, you begin to feel collective pain, as if it's your own. Not because you're broken, not because you're overloaded, but because you're connected. There's a moment when your energetic body stretches beyond your physical one, and suddenly, you're no longer just aware of your own emotions. You start to feel the world. You sense suffering across oceans. You cry for strangers. You wake up heavy without knowing why, only to find out something happened on the other side of the planet that your soul felt. This isn't codependency. This isn't over-attachment. This is empathy as divinity. Because in the final stage of awakening, your boundaries expand. Not to weaken you, but to include more of the whole. Your compassion becomes cosmic, and the ache you carry isn't a burden. It's a bridge. You are now transmuting not only your own shadow, but fragments of the collective's. And somehow, it doesn't overwhelm you. Because you've learned how to release as fast as you absorb, you no longer drown in the weight of it all. You become the ocean that holds it. The third shift? Synchronicities begin to amplify. Not just occasionally, constantly. You'll think of someone and they'll call. You'll ask for a sign and it appears in 3 different forms within minutes. You'll wonder about a direction and the next song, book or stranger delivers your answer word for word. You're not just witnessing miracles, you've become the field in which miracles occur. Because you are now vibrating in harmony with your own destiny, and that harmony creates resonance, echoes, divine feedback loops that tell you, yes, you're aligned. The more you trust this, the more fluid life becomes. You stop forcing, you stop chasing, you magnetize, you attract. You surrender to the rhythm you now feel in your body, not just hope for in your mind. And that rhythm never lies. The fourth shift? You begin seeing physical changes, subtle at first, then striking. Your eyes may appear brighter, almost crystalline. Your skin begins to glow. Not because of a product, but because your energy is clearing toxins at a deeper level. Your posture shifts. You stand taller, shoulders back, chest open. It's as if your body is reflecting what your soul has always known. I am light. You may lose weight without trying, or gain it as a form of grounding. You may notice your voice deepening, your hair texture changing, your walk slowing to match your breath. This isn't just physical, it's vibrational embodiment. Your form is now matching your frequency. Even your gaze shifts. People look into your eyes and pause. Not because of beauty, but because they see something. They don't know what it is, but they feel it. And that leads to the fifth shift. Others feel your vibration before you speak. You walk into a room and the air changes. Children stare at you longer. Animals approach you calmly. Strangers open up to you without knowing why. Your presence becomes your message. You no longer need to explain yourself. Your energy speaks louder than words ever could. Because when you're aligned, when you're anchored, when you're awake, your vibration becomes felt. Before you offer advice, before you share insight, before you even introduce yourself, people already feel the light in you. You become a mirror, a catalyst, a walking permission slip for others to wake up to. And you don't have to try. You just have to be. This is the signature of someone approaching completion. The noise fades, the chaos quiets. You no longer seek answers, you embody them, and the world responds. Because the world can feel who's really walking in truth. These 5 shifts aren't random, they aren't subtle hints, they're spiritual milestones, physical, emotional, energetic confirmations that you're not waiting for ascension, that you're in it. And the more you notice them, the more you trust the process. You're not lost, you're arriving. Not at a destination outside of you, but at the frequency that was always waiting within you. Now that you know what's happening inside you on a spiritual, energetic, and cellular level, it's time to talk about something equally important: how to support your body through this transformation. Because your body isn't just shifting, it's surrendering. And that surrender requires your full cooperation. This isn't a time to push, force, or override what you're feeling. It's a time to listen, to soften, to nourish the vessel that's carrying your awakening into form. Let's start with the basics. Food, water, solitude. You may have noticed your cravings changing. Foods that used to comfort you now feel heavy. Sugar might give you anxiety. Meat might feel dense. Or maybe you're suddenly craving citrus, greens, or plain water like it's holy. That's not random. That's your intuition guiding your physical intake to match your new frequency. Your body is moving into a lighter state, and heavy, processed foods can pull your vibration down. This doesn't mean restriction. It means alignment. Eat what your body asks for. And if you're unsure, simplify. Fruits, vegetables, clean proteins, natural fats, hydrating water with minerals. Water especially becomes sacred now. You'll notice that when you're dehydrated, your spiritual symptoms increase, headaches intensify, dizziness comes on. That's because water isn't just hydration, it's conduction. It helps you process energy faster, it clears emotional residue, it supports your nervous system in regulating download. Drink water like it's medicine, because right now it is, and honor your cravings for solitude. You're not antisocial. You're integrating. You're integrating too much light, too much data to stay plugged into everyone else's field all the time. You need space. You need stillness. You need silence. Your system is recalibrating, and quiet is the cradle of transformation. Next, consider your energetic hygiene. Just as you clean your physical body, you must now cleanse your energetic one. Because when you're this open, this porous, you absorb everything. Use grounding rituals. Walk barefoot on the earth. Touch trees. Sit with your spine against stone. Let nature recalibrate your system without effort. The earth knows how to hold energy, and when you're ungrounded, it can absorb what no longer belongs to you. Try salt baths, sage smudging, Palo Santo, sound bowls. These aren't trends, they're tools. Tools that clear residual energy from your aura and create space for your own light to settle deeper. You can also practice daily energetic boundaries. Visualize golden light around your body when you wake up. Say, "Only what is of the highest love and truth may enter my field." Say it like you mean it. Your intention has power. Your command has effect. And as you move through the day, check in with your body. Ask, what energy isn't mine? Where am I holding someone else's pain? What can I now release? And then release it. Through breath, through movement, through intention. You are not meant to carry everything you feel. You're meant to transmute it. You can also speak directly to your body. This is where affirmation becomes embodiment. Touch the part of your body that aches and say, "Thank you for holding so much. You can let go now." Place your hand on your heart and whisper, "You are safe now. You're allowed to feel everything." Put both hands on your belly and affirm, "I trust you to guide me through this. I listen. I follow. I honor you." Your body hears you, not metaphorically, literally. It responds to tone, to presence, to intention. Treat it like a sacred partner, and it will show you miracles. And then move. Gently, slowly, intuitively. This isn't the time for forced workouts or rigid routines. Your body is integrating massive energetic downloads. It doesn't need stress. It needs support. Try gentle yoga, free-flow dancing, walking slowly in nature, stretching with music that soothes your soul. Let your body lead. Move in ways that feel good. Move in rhythms that mirror your breath. Sometimes your body just wants to sway. Sometimes it wants to curl up in stillness. Sometimes it wants to shake. All of it is valid. All of it is healing. And never underestimate the power of breath. Breath is the original frequency tuner. When symptoms spike, when emotion rises, when clarity fades, return to your breath. Inhale, I am here. Exhale, I am safe. Inhale, this is sacred. Exhale, I surrender. Let each breath clear the static. Let each exhale soften your resistance. Let each inhale welcome a new level of embodiment. And most of all, rest. Rest is not laziness, it's integration. Your system can only hold so much light at once. Sleep is how your body weaves the energetic threads into physical structure. It's how your guides speak to you in dreams. It's how your nervous system resets. And right now, your system needs it, so sleep longer. Nap if you need to. Create a cocoon when the world feels too loud. Your evolution isn't measured in how productive you are, it's measured in how aligned you're becoming, and sometimes alignment looks like lying still, saying no, being quiet. Sometimes rest is the most spiritual thing you can do. Your body is sacred, your symptoms are sacred, your healing is sacred. Support yourself like you would support a beloved child, gently, attentively, with full trust that everything happening inside you is exactly what needs to unfold. You are transforming, and your body is becoming the temple for the divine. So what happens next, after the trembling stops, after the waves of heat fade, after the ringing, the fatigue, the heart-pounding downloads soften into something quieter, steadier? You arrive at a place most people never talk about. Stillness. Not the kind that feels empty, but the kind that feels full. You begin to notice a vast inner silence, not a void, but a presence. The chaos doesn't disappear, it just stops owning you. You no longer confuse other people's energy with your own. You no longer attach to every passing emotion. You start to recognize thoughts as clouds, not truths. Feelings as visitors, not identities. You begin to rest in your own field, and from that resting point clarity emerges. Not always in words, not always in visions, but in knowing. A knowing that doesn't beg to be proven. A knowing that doesn't need to rush. You understand things now without trying. You walk into rooms and instantly feel who's authentic and who's not. You see through smiles. You read between sentences. You hear the vibration beneath people's words. It's not judgment, it's discernment. A soft, grounded awareness that whispers, I see the truth now. And that sensitivity, the one that once made you feel like you were falling apart, it becomes your superpower. You no longer try to shut it off. You use it. You listen to it. You follow it. Because your sensitivity was never the enemy, it was the activation. Now, when your body tightens, you pause. When your skin tingles, you pay attention. When your breath shortens, you don't push through, you realign. You've become fluent in the language of energy. You no longer react, you respond. With precision, with softness, with sovereignty. That's the word. Energetic sovereignty. It means you are no longer pulled by every current. You don't leak your power into situations that don't deserve it. You don't over-explain. You don't seek validation from people who haven't done the work to see you. You contain your light with reverence. You know when to share and when to withhold. You know when your presence is the healing and when your absence is the lesson. You become so deeply rooted in your inner truth that nothing outside of you has the power to pull you off course anymore. You stop looking for permission. You stop begging for signs. You become the sign. And the world around you shifts to reflect it. Opportunities appear without hustle. Aligned souls enter your life as if summoned. The energy that once overwhelmed you now flows through you like a current you can direct. You've moved beyond survival. You've moved beyond identity. You've become a creator. Not from force, from presence. Because that's what true awakening leads to. Not just knowledge, not just peace, but creative power. You realize that your thoughts are no longer rooted in fear. They're sculpted from love. That your choices are no longer reactive. They're intuitive. That your path is no longer about proving anything. It's about expressing everything. You are no longer at the mercy of your body's strange symptoms because you understand their messages now. You're no longer confused by your sensitivities because they've become the radar for your purpose. You're no longer exhausted by your awakening because you've learned to live in rhythm with it. You've become attuned, integrated, empowered. This is what it means to complete the final stage. It's not that life becomes perfect, it's that you become present. You don't stop feeling, you stop fearing what you feel. You don't stop changing, you start co-creating the change. And as you step deeper into this new embodiment, you realize the most powerful truth of all. You are not here to survive your sensitivity, you are here to lead with it. You are not here to endure awakening like a burden. You are here to radiate it like a beacon. You are here to live the wisdom you once only read about, to walk this earth as a healed, feeling, knowing being, to move with grace, to speak with light, to love with depth. And if your body still speaks, let it. If it still aches, listen. If it still cries, thank it, because it carried you. It translated the invisible into truth. It honored every frequency that moved through you with unwavering devotion. And now, it's time to thank it by living fully, deeply, and unapologetically awake. You are no longer reacting. You are creating. This is your moment. This is your turning point. You've crossed the threshold. Welcome to the other side.